Well, gray, dreary skies, heavy rain and snow, the name of the weather game this weekend. Governor Steve Bullock issuing an executive order declaring an emergency in Montana due to a severe early season storm. Now, inches to feet of snow in northern areas, fallen trees and power lines in the Flathead, and winter road conditions impacting drivers in western Montana. Governor Steve Bullock allocating state resources to help residents impacted by this winter storm, which has caused road closures, emergency travel conditions, intermittent cellular service, and power outages. The Montana State Emergency Coordination Center is working with all counties in the storm path to identify needs to critical lifeline services such as energy, communications, transportation, and emergency food, water, and shelter services. With the order, state resources can be mobilized to impacted counties with eligible expenses for emergency protective measures and debris removal. Now, turning now to weather with Rob. Weather has been the news story. The storm sure showed up this weekend.
Well, we've had the nation's attention on this one,
that's
for sure. All the national programs talking about it. Let me show you some storm totals. Rather impressive. As of 6 o'clock this morning, Browning 40 inches of snow. St. Mary, just outside the gates of Glacier, 38 inches. Other locations receiving at or a little better than a foot of snow. Over in Livingston, 3.3 inches of snow. That's the closest into Billings. And then when we talk about rainfall, look at that, 2 inches of rain as of Sunday morning at Colstrip. For the Billings area, a 40-hour total of 0.72 of an inch. And of course, as Zoe mentioned just a minute ago, Pondera County, the Blackfeet Nation up in the Browning area, civil emergency right now. They're only advising necessary emergency travel only. It's a real mess. How long does the storm stick around? What happens during the work week? Details in just a little bit. Zoe?
Thank you, Rob. Well, the weather not putting a damper on this event today over at Pompey's Pillar, serving as a site for Rock the Run, a 5K run, and the second annual Fall Festival. Now, the festival honoring military members, veterans, and first responders, and the event also a chance to learn about the pillar that Captain William Clark visited back in 1806. About 30 booths contributed to the celebration, and okay, maybe the weather did hinder the event just a bit, ending a few hours early, but law enforcement, the National Guard, and other emergency responders all participated.
It's good for us to have a designated day where we appreciate what all of these amazing men and women do for our country. Veterans Meat Locker, they are a nonprofit in Billings, and they give out free meat to veterans and their families. They had their trailer here today full of meat. It's a great organization that we are so proud to support.
Some of the race entry fees will go to the Montana Veterans Meat Locker. Well, families turned out to the Billings Depot today to take part in hands-on educational fun at STEAM Fest. The acronym stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. Professionals in the community met to share the love of learning with the Billings youth, and Q2's Mitch Laggy takes us there.
STEAM Fest is in its second year at the Billings Depot. The family-friendly event brings together the likes of the Billings Library Foundation, Wise Wonders Children's Museum, ExxonMobil, and others, all to help kids discover new interests that may serve them later in life.
I think the younger you can get kids involved in anything, science, technology, engineering, art, and math, those are things kids need at any age.
Here at STEAM Fest, kids can stumble upon to new ideas and creations that they'd never even dreamed of, like the Star Labs Planetarium, providing a new look at our solar system.
And what we wanted to do was really just give kids an exciting, enjoyable day to experiment and play and find out what really interests them.
Activities like changing money and weight scaling let kids exercise real-world skills, all while having fun. The hope is that kids can develop these interests into future career paths.
And so we have activities all throughout that are just fun, right? And they get to solve problems, and they get to maybe fail and have some grit and try again and again. We know that our employers need talent who can think critically, who can do problem solving, who can take initiative, and what better than the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math industries and skill sets to kind of spur innovation and creativity.
But don't take the adults' word for it. The kids really do have a good time.
I'm ready for science. And I really love science. Every science experiment is different. And some are poisonous and lightning. Everything around here is kind of cool.
In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Well, what a cutie. Well, thanks, Mitch. Staff at the depot said they plan to hold STEAM Fest again next year. Well, stay with us. More to come on the 5:30 news. After the break, Rob will have your complete weather forecast. Stay tuned.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker Weather with Rob Griggs, and Sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 5:30 news on Q2, Montana's news leader.